Hi, this is Brian, and this time we're going to talk about standalone information or standalone stories or standalone sections. And I'm just doing this because I think we need to look at the Bible the way the Bible was given. That is, it's given in a series of incident stories, subjects, and we need to just understand each subject in its own space first, and then we can look at how it's connected to other things or whatever. But so I've done Mark chapter 1, and we found 9 stories in chapter 1, and we found that some of the stories didn't quite go by the headings in some of the Bibles and all those other things. So this time I'm going to go to my trusty copy of, where are we? Come on. Of Philippians chapter 1, okay? Now, if you have Philippians chapter 1, it's open somewhere or in the Bible that you can scribble on, that's all the better. I've got it actually written here I've got it in a Word document, so I'm going to do it like that. Now, we don't have, this isn't like a narrative in the same way as another narrative. It is a narrative because what's happening is Paul is sitting down somewhere writing. It's the story of what Paul does with the Philippians, and we've got other information and we can put the story together. But Paul is just writing to the Philippians. He's writing from jail, of course. You probably know that. But regardless of all that, let's just simply see if we can find the beginning and the end of each section. So I'm just going to go. You can do this in chapter 1 because I'm just going to start going down here and keep on going. So if you want to do your own, have a go yourself. See how many different sections. This time we're not looking for the beginning of a story, the middle of a story, the end of a story. We're looking at the beginning of a subject, topic, issue, the middle of a subject, topic, issue, and the end of a subject. And we'll get that end and the beginning sectioned off, and then we'll look at that. And we'll look at what Paul is saying in that particular section where he's dealing with that particular issue, and we'll talk about how to do that later on. But this might seem a bit mechanical, but I think it'll be worthwhile. So let's go. So Paul, servant of Jesus Christ, God's holy people, greeting and everything else. So the first break in this thing comes, he does the greeting. So we're going to say the greeting, he just greets them. That's the formal part about it. Now he's going to, that's just a formal part. Now he's going to talk about things that he's aware of and try to help them and so forth. I thank my God every time I remember you in my prayer, just thanking you. It's right for me this way about you. I think you're terrific. I want you to love each other more and more. Verse 10, filled with the righteousness, fruit of righteousness that comes through Jesus Christ to the glory and praise of God. Now I want you to know, brothers and sisters. So there's a different issue. He's talking about, you're wonderful, you're wonderful, wonderful, this is what I want. And he said, now, he's going to deal with another issue now, a specific issue. I want you to know what has happened to me actually served to advance the gospel. And so he goes on talking about what's happened since he's been put in jail, especially in Rome. And I rejoice about it. I continue to rejoice. You're going to get me out of here. Your prayers and so forth. I'm torn between the two. Don't know what to do. I don't know whether to go and be with Jesus or whatever. And then it finishes up, the story finishes up, convinced of this, verse 25, I know that I will remain and will continue with all of you for your progress and joy in the faith, so that through me being with you again, your boasting in Jesus Christ will abound on account of me. And so then said, whatever happens, now he's going to move off I've been talking about even my imprisonment has turned out for the gospel. Now he's talking about whatever happens, I want you to live a life worthy of the gospel of Christ. I'll know, and we come to the end of the chapter. And I think in this case, the end of the chapter, it's connected to the next bit. He says in the last verse of this chapter, or the second last verse, for it has been granted to you on behalf of Christ, not only to believe on him, but to suffer for him, since you are going through the same struggle you saw I had, now here that I still have. Boom. So they're going through a struggle. So let's just see. We've got the greeting. We've got hello and wonderful to talk to you. How you going? This is wonderful. You're wonderful. Now I want you to know I'm answering a problem now because people have been saying I've been put in jail and all that kind of stuff. But I rejoice about it, and I rejoice what's happened, and we're going to get out of here and so forth, talking about being in jail. And then he said, no matter what happens, this is what I want for you. So we have 1, 2, 3 with the greeting. So in chapter 1, we've got 3 sections. These sections are different issues. So when we come to get some revelation from heaven, we're going to take one of these sections, not as if it's the only section, but we're going to take it, get the information that's in that section, in that subject, because all of that hangs together. A story is, what did I say it was? A story is a report of connected events presented in a sequence. So here is a report of an issue connected. There's a beginning of this report and the end of that report, this section. Then he goes on to something else and something else. So it might be an agenda in a meeting. It might be things that you talk about in a conversation. That's what's going on here. So I'm just talking about getting the section in a standalone section. By standalone, I mean this can be read as one section. We won't lose anything if we take that section and see what it says about that issue. And so that's what I want you to learn how to do, just because I think you have a better chance of connecting to God that way and better chance of hearing from God that way. God bless you.